Hello, and welcome to the Metro MLS webinar reviewing the My Views function in FlexMLS. In this webinar, you'll learn what a view is, how to use the views, and how to create your own views. So let's begin. So what a view is the columns that you see on the search results screen. So I'll show you. So I'm just going to do a search here using active, pending, and sold. Milwaukee County, Wauwatosa. Let's say we want to do 3 to 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, 2.5 garage spaces, and let's do an attached garage and narrow that down, and then we'll go back a year just to show you. All right. Okay, so when you're out at the search results screen, the views are the columns that you see here on the search results screen. So because I did a single family search, this is the single family view that you see right here. Okay? You can manipulate or you can change between views by clicking the drop down arrow. So any view that has the little asterisk at the end of it, that's an inherited view, which is a system view that comes along with your FlexMLS account. You cannot delete or change those. You can use them as a template to create your own views, but that view in the way that it exists, you cannot change. So for example, I did a search on active, pending, and sold properties. So with the columns that you're seeing here, okay, you're like, it's fine, but since you have sold properties, you might want to see the sold price, the sold date, the days on market, that kind of stuff. So there is a view in this list called sold listings right there. So you can switch to that view simply by single left clicking it, and it'll reload your results screen here. Notice it flips the solds first, so we still have got 36 results, but this is the columns that are included in the sold listings view. You get the sold price, the last list price, so that was the last current list price, number of bedrooms, baths, there's the sold date, days on market, estimate total square footage, there's the county and property type. You get a column for the original list price and then a column for the fall through date if there is one. What the fall through date is maybe that property was in a pending status before, the deal fell through, so they put it back on the market. So a back on market status change is what triggers a fall through date. Okay? Alrighty, so this is what a view is. This is how you can switch between them. Now, you can build upon an existing view. So let's say for this sold listings view that I have right here, let's say that in addition to the columns that I see here, I'd like to see a column, maybe if there was any concessions, the terms of sale. That's a good one because there's no search detail in the system where you can search on sold properties by terms of sale. We get a lot of calls asking, well, how do I search for cash terms of sales? You can't search on that, but you can view them easily here on the search results screen so you can see them for your search results. So I'm going to edit this view on the fly. I'm going to edit this view and make it my own custom view. How I'm going to do that, so I'm sitting on the view that I want to use as my template, the sold listings view. To the left of that field is this little view link. I'm going to click on that. So this is going to bring me into the create view from sold listings. So I'm going to give this view a different description because it's going to be something of my own that I'm creating. So I'm going to call it custom sold listings. Sold listings. All right. I'll leave the report description as the same, but you're free to change that if you'd like to. I'm going to remain to show the photo, the little thumbnail. If you decided you didn't want to see that, you can select no. You can also default a view from full search, meaning that if you start off at full search for any property type that you choose, did you want that view to come up automatically as the default view? So you can choose it for a particular property type, or you can have it for multiple property types. You can also default it for searching when you click on my listings from your menu, my office listings, or do an address and MLS number search. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like this, and I'm going to slip on over to my fields tab here. So here, these are the columns that are currently within that view. These are the columns that I can choose from here. All right, so I said I wanted to add a concessions column and I wanted to add a terms of sale column. So they're sitting right here. So to choose it, I'll single left click. Once it grays out, it pops it over here on this side. I'll do it again for terms of sale. Okay. Now let's say I wanted to add listing member and selling member for columns for that. I can do that. You can either scroll down this list, and it's a really long list, or if you know what it is that you're looking for, you can simply type it in this search field. So I'm just going to type in the word listing to bring up any options with the word listing in it. And there it is, listing member. So I'm going to left click it to select it. Now I want to put in selling member. There's selling, and then I'm going to select selling member. All right. So now I've got everything that I want over here. Maybe I want to see these columns in a certain order. I didn't like that my original list price is a long way away from my sold price in the list price. So I want to move this closer to the other prices. So to move a column, you see these little arrows that are right here? I'm going to hold down my left mouse button and I'm just going to drag it up to where I want it to be. Right underneath the list price, like that. Okay? So you can move things around. If there's things that you don't need, maybe I don't care about a fall through date. I'm going to get rid of that by clicking the X that's here. Okay? So I can go through here and see if this is the order that I'd like it to be in. I can always come back in here and change it at a later date if I'd like to, but I'm happy with the way that it is now. So I'm just going to simply click on save. So now it's going to load those 36 listings. There's my view. That's my view. You see there's no asterisk behind it. That's because it's my own view. I created that. So now there we've got the sold price, the list price, the original list price, sold date, days on market, square footage. There's the concessions. If there's a concession that's there, there's one that's yes. I can click on that listing and I can check the remarks to make sure to say, okay, what was added to that concession here to see if there's any notes. Okay, coming back here to list, terms of sale, and then here's the listing member, here's the selling member. Maybe I looked at this listing and said, yeah, there was a concession, but I didn't see any notes on what the concession was. I can quickly contact that listing member by clicking his name. And there is this business card. I can either do the contact agent function and shoot him a message saying, I noticed for your sold listing, you know, this particular list number, you have yes listed as a concession, but I don't see what the concession was. Can you please tell me what that is? I can either send them a message through here. These messages go to their FlexMLS account and also to their email address of record. Or if I want to give them a call, there it is right there. All right. So what I just did was called creating a view on the fly. That's the easiest way to create a view. It allows you to take an existing view and use it as a template and make it your own. Now you can also create views from the My Views screen. So I'm going to click on Menu, and then underneath Preferences we'll click on My Views. This brings you to the Available Views window that you've got here. So that custom single family that I just did, the custom sold listings, here it is right here. And these are all of the columns that are included in there. So you can create a view here from the ground up if you like. How that works is you can click on New. It brings you here and it's a total blank slate. So you're doing this from the ground up. You would give it the description and a report description. If you'd like to show that thumbnail photo on the search results screen, if you wanted to default for any of the full search or my listings searches here, you can go to fields and then you're choosing all the fields. It's a total blank slate. This one's a little bit more difficult because you're kind of thinking, oh, okay, well, what do I normally see out there? It helps to have a template or a starting point that's already filled in for you. But if you can do it this way, totally up to you. Here you choose the property type that you want to do it for. So maybe you want to do it for condominium. There's different fields for condominium like unit, floor number, that kind of thing. So you just kind of go through here and you just left click. I'm just arbitrarily left clicking on stuff. What you want to include, and you see it's adding it over here. And then again, once you get it over here, you can move it around, or if you decide you don't want something, you've got the little X that's right there. And then once you're done, you can save it. Okay, you can also add a sort to the view if you'd like to. Most of the sorts in the system sort by list price, lowest to highest. Status, if you do multiple status like active, pending, sold, it'll be active, pending, sold alphabetically, and then within each of those, active, lowest to highest, pending, lowest to highest, sold, lowest to highest. So if you'd like to choose a sort here, you can choose to sort by a column order, or you can create a custom sort. There is a webinar for custom sorts in the webinar list there, so you can review that to get more details on that. I'm just going to cancel out of this and go back here. You can copy a view. So if you wanted to duplicate a view and then go in and make tweaks to it, that's the copy, and give it a different name. So that makes creating a view easy. You can edit an existing view. So if I wanted to go into one of these views that I created, and notice the inherited, that takes the place of those asterisks in the menu and the drop down that we saw on the search results screen. Again, that lets you know that's a system created view. Anything that doesn't have inherited after it is totally blank afterwards. So again, if I want to edit a view that I created, I can do that here, or I can do it on the search results screen as I'm looking at it. If I want to get rid of a view, that's remove, and then I can give it to someone, a view to someone in my office. Maybe this custom sold listings, I was working with a coworker of mine, and they go, "Hey, how did you do that?" And maybe at that time at that moment you don't have time to show them, but you go, "Hey, I can give it to you." So you can select the view, hit give to someone, and then of course my permissions are different, so I get everybody. But you choose your coworker's name in the list and you click give to view to someone in a selected office, or if you want to give it to everybody, you can do that too. Okay, I'm just going to back up here. All right. So this is the My Views screen in FlexMLS, and I think it works really great because you can create like your own one-line reports. And I'll just pop out that search again just to show you real quick. You can print in that view if you'd like to. So I'm just cranking out that TOSA search again just to show you how to do that. Attached, and then we'll go to dates, do the year, then view our results. Okay, so this particular view, if you wanted to print out your listings in this view that you created, just go to print or email. You can email that view also. So, but just make sure when you're over in this section of the screen, some of those columns are considered private information. So if you want all of the columns populated, make sure you select private. I'm not going to send out the detail report because I just want the list. So I'm taking the check out of that. I'm putting the check in list, and then here's where your view menu comes up. Remember to click that drop down menu and select your view. If you want to include the criteria that you searched on, you can pop a check in there and then pop in the one-line report. I'm going to preview that and show you what it looks like. And here it is. So these are the parameters that you searched on to get these properties here. I did the one-line report. You don't get a photo with the one-line report. You're just getting the information that's within that view. Remember, the more columns that you've added, it may cut off, so you might want to flip your paper to landscape so you get more room. If you need to create more, room, maybe you want to take off the search criteria. That might give you a little bit more room. I'll show you what it looks like without the one line. There's the photo, so that's a little bit bigger report. Okay, this will conclude our tutorial of the My Views function in FlexMLS.